It is off-season time here in Eastern Michigan Dynasty in College Football 27. So this is our first official off-season of the series, so it is a very crucial one. Before we get into the off-season and everything, we'll do a quick little recap of the season. So actually, most importantly, throughout this entire season, we improved from a half-star prestige school to a full-star prestige school, which that's not like an insane thing. However, that does help us out with getting more dynasty points as well as more recruiting hours and stuff like that. So I will go over stats and everything like that, but first we're just going to take a quick run through of the schedule. So of course, our biggest win was against Wisconsin on the road, which this game was crazy. I don't know how we won it, which it literally was our hardest game, and we still won it. And we also played Michigan State a week before. I don't know how we lost this game. We absolutely should have won it. But overall, we did go 6-6. It was a very disappointing season. And I think it was episode 3 where we really had a rough stretch, and that kind of cost us to lose a lot of games, like this Ohio Central Michigan game. Oh my goodness, that episode was so brutal. Which, if you have not seen previous episodes, I recommend catching up before we do the off season. But anyways though, we did close out the season with 2 pretty big in-conference wins, one of them being a rivalry game. But unfortunately for us, we did not get a bowl game, which was actually an 80 expectation. Make a bowl game within the next 3 seasons. I know it says 2, but like 1 season already went through, so we still have 2 more seasons to do this. We should get it next season, absolutely. But we did get our other 2 expectations, which was pretty big for us because that gives us some bonus dynasty points here. And we also had our best season since 2024, which is good. Well, technically 2023 because we had 1 less loss, but like same amount of wins, so I mean technically the same thing. And Ohio State did take home the national championship, winning their 2nd in 3 years. We of course did not make the playoffs, unfortunately, but Virginia went on quite the run though. They made it to the semifinal before losing to Ohio State, and Miami made it for the 2nd straight year, Indiana losing it in the semifinals. So, and we also did have a All-American, Braden Bennett, which somehow he does not get skill points. He's only an 82 overall, which despite the season he had, he should absolutely have gotten more skill points. I wanted to upgrade him, but you know, unfortunately can't do it, which I mean, this season would get him drafted maybe as like a late round pick, but unfortunately because of his overall, he will not get drafted. So that's going to hurt our pro potential a little bit, which granted it's really already not that good, but still. And one more thing, conference wise, we of course did go 4-4, so that was not good in terms of our seeding, which the conference standings were actually not that good. Like we had a 5-3 team in 2nd place, so like had we got 1 more win, I think the tiebreakers would have worked out for us. Then I mean, it's possible we could have had the 2nd seed in the conference. But anyways though, we got some off-season stuff to do. Next season roster NIL. So currently we have 215 dynasty points. Hopefully we can improve that. And we are losing a ton of seniors and stuff like that, so that does help us out a little bit with points. But Harold Mack, he wants 110. That's literally half of what I have. We just cannot afford that. I can't do it. Like anyone that wants anything more than like 20, I think we're just gonna have to say goodbye to. So Travis Blackwell, he didn't really play all that much, so it's not really that big of a deal. And I mean, we kind of need a roster overhaul in general, so it's like I'm not all that mad to be losing a lot of these guys. Like I'm not going to pay a 67 overall junior tight end 55. That's just not going to happen. But there are some guys I'm sure I could take NIL off of. Like for example, Matthew July, when he played, which granted he was only a freshman, he was not really all that good. Which, how many people want to leave this team? Hold on a second. Does everyone want to leave this team? Goodness, dude, we're going to have like 90 transfers. Goodness gracious. But anyways though, yeah, we're going to lose every single running back. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this is going to be a tough offseason. Which Travis Blackwell, I would like to have him back, but like normal dev, you know, I think we can find someone in the transfer portal. Also, Malachi James, he did win Returner of the Year. I would like him back, but like I don't want to pay him 25. Like I'm going to have to pay more than 25 actually, which that's just not going to happen. So for the most part, I mean, we're going to get 10 more back from Harold Mack. I'll just take it off now. So, I mean, I'll look through this. I don't think there's really anyone I'm going to be willing to pay because like I said, we need a roster overhaul. So Luke Grant, appreciate you for sticking around, but goodness, this is going to be a brutal offseason. I mean, Cole Dellinger, could I give him like... He's still gonna want to leave. Dude, this is so unfortunate. And of course, William King, he was one of the top freshman centers in our conference, so I would like to keep him around, but like paying him 45, that's just gonna hurt our points way too much. But Noah Patterson might actually be our highest rated player that does not want to leave, so goodness, this is gonna be tough. And yeah, this guy whose name I'm not gonna say, I mean, he would stick around for 5 more, but like dude, it's just so tough. Like, I cannot justify paying a 63 overall 5 NIL. I just really can't. And also the problem is a lot of these deal breakers like pro potential, championship contender, I know next year they're just going to end up leaving anyway, because I know for a fact we're not going to improve championship. Well, I mean, C+. I don't know if we could get up to C+, but like pro potential, we're not going to improve that next year. It's just not going to happen. So yeah, I mean, we might just be cooked. We might just have to accept we're going to lose most of these guys. But our 80 overall kicker is sticking around. That's always good. But yeah, we're just going to lose everyone. 75 for a punter. Yeah, that's just not going to happen. But yeah, I have not spent a single NIL point here. I think we might just have to accept we're losing these guys, because like, even if I were to offer like 20, it's like I could get a transfer. Actually, I could get a transfer for free. That would probably be better than him. So yeah, we're just gonna have to go into next week. I looked through all of them. There's just no chance. Like, even when I improve these, like even going up to like 30, we still have a high chance of him leaving. So we're just gonna have to accept it. We're gonna have to work the transfer portal. It's gonna suck, it's gonna be brutal, but we'll move on. Also, one thing that happened last video is our OC went to Kent State to be the head coach there. So after we dropped, I think it was 34 points on Kent State, they took our OC, which, I mean, granted, I did fire him, but still, they took our OC. But yeah, I mean, there's really nothing we can do for the NIL. We'll just have to go into the next week and see if we can work this transfer portal. Which also, another thing, I did look up online the recent Eastern Michigan football recruiting classes. Most of them are outside of the top 100. I think in the last 6 years, there was only like 2 that were inside the top 100. The goal today is to get up to, I would say, a top 70 transfer class, or not transfer class, just recruiting class in general. If we could do that, that would be huge for the team. But wow, no persuasion chance for 10 of these. Dude, our kicker wants to leave. Oh my gosh. Well, we do only have 2 persuasion chances, and we really only have a chance on 2 of these guys because everyone else is none. I mean, will our kicker come back? Okay, thank goodness we got our kicker, which actually this is pretty big because we do need a pretty good kicker. But I mean, Luke Grant is like the only other guy. Otherwise, it's Bryce Button. So yeah, we're just gonna go with the guy who has extremely high. Will Luke Grant come back? He does. Okay, yeah, we're losing a ton of guys. I don't think anyone's going on to the draft. I don't believe. But like I said, Braden Bennett should be. He had a really good season. This would get him drafted as a late round pick at worst, but still got absolutely 0 skill points. And he's also not skill capped either. I checked because I wanted to try and get him drafted with improving him. But yeah, dude, we're losing so many guys. This is actually insane. We are definitely going to need to bring in a full 35, which I don't even think a full 35 will be enough. This is like 50 guys that we're losing. Goodness, dude, this is horrible. But all right, here we go into our very first transfer portal. Like I said, the goal is a top 70 recruiting class, which we're gonna have to target a lot of 2 stars, so I'm not sure how plausible that will be. But yeah, had we made a bowl game, that extra 100 would have really helped us out, because I probably would have offered Harold Mack or someone just to keep him around for depth. But let's see, did anyone get drafted? No, shocker. But Braden Bennett, though, he had a very good season. All-American, of course, 18 touchdowns, 1.2 thousand yards. A very nice 6.7 average on the season. Noah Kim, he ran the ball quite well, even though he didn't throw the ball all that good. But Joey Mattard was a pretty good compliment to Braden Bennett because, of course, his wear and tear was absolutely horrible. I had to sub him out a lot because of that. Matthew July, though, did not run the ball all that well, but, you know, it is what it is. Also, Braden Bennett, he was our workhorse and everything. He was catching the ball, running the ball, everything. And surprisingly, Nick Deverox, I think that's how you say it, he was our highest rated player on offense. He was not really doing all that much. 13 catches, 141, no touchdowns. But Benson Prosper was pretty good. He, of course, is a senior, and yeah, pretty much everyone on this team is a senior. So we lost out on a ton of contributors to this team. Also, I'm realizing now that the transfers are not showing up on here, which granted, there was not really that many that were doing all that much anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. But yeah, 6 sacks for Jefferson Adam. He also did have a scoop and score. I think it was in the previous video, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, he was our sacks leader. Carter Evans, I think he also had a strip sack at some point, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, all of our starting defensive linemen were seniors. So yeah, it's going to be pretty tough. Jason Marshall, he was really good on defense as well. He was kind of my user linebacker, even though he's technically a safety. And our TFL leader was, of course, Jefferson Adam. Colin Main, from his linebacker spot, was flying around. Zach Mochan also had 7. So tackles, who led our tackles? It was Barry Manning from the safety spot. And Bryce Lulin, I think that's how you say it, was our second leading tackler, and then Zach Mochan. And then we also had a corner in our top 4 of tackles. Goodness. And we also only kicked 5 field goals all season, really? And extra points, I went 29 of 32. That can't be true. Well, actually, no, that is true, because I remember earlier in the season, my kicking was like broken for some reason, so I was missing a couple, but you know, we'll ignore that. But yeah, Braden Bennett was second in the nation with touchdowns. He really should be, like, he definitely should have been drafted. It's so frustrating that he wasn't. But in terms of the MAC, we had the lowest yards per game. Goodness, dude, I didn't even realize it was that bad. Total offensive yards, of course, yeah, that's gonna be worse. But what about points? We sucked. Oh my goodness. Okay, yeah. I mean, yeah, it makes sense. We were very one-dimensional all season, so I completely understand that. But our defense was really good, though. We allowed under 300 yards per game. That's really good for a team. I wonder, how did we do in terms of national? That's got to be up there. We were the best defense in the league in terms of yards. Okay, we weren't for points, though. There's just no way, yeah. But I mean, we were decent with points, only giving up 21 per game, which granted, that's really not that great, but like still, that's actually pretty good. So actually by 700 yards, we were the best defense in the league in terms of giving up yards. Wow, we actually had a really good defense. Yeah, we were definitely in the bottom half of the nation with 19 sacks on the season. But yeah, 4 fumbles on the season, 8 picks. Would have liked to have a lot more. And yeah, turnover differential, -7. Brutal. It was a really bad season. We'll put it that way. But we're going to have a new quarterback and everything. Oh, penalties. We were a very well-disciplined team. We were the least penalized team in the entire country. Wow, by a wide margin, by 40. So yeah, as a first-year coach, I really had the team well-disciplined. But we were also the 3rd most efficient red zone team. That's actually really good. And with our defense being 48th, that was probably in the top half of the league, I'm sure, around that point. I mean, we don't need to see the exact point, but I'm sure it was around that point. But yeah, stats are pretty boring. I'm sure a lot of you guys feel the same way. So we'll go into transfer portal now. So before we do that though, we already do have a couple of commits, JT Murray and Robert Bordeaux. That's it. We only have 2. But we are very close to getting 3-star running back Jabu Ailman, which if we could get him, that would be huge. And also Robert Carmichael. We should get him. I don't think Duke is going to pull away. We also have the pipeline with him, so I'm sure we get him. And also Dwayne Briggs, another 3-star, and 2-star Kevin McLeod. I think we should get him. The rest of these 2-stars, nobody else is going after him, so we're good in all of those. Actually, Sam Coleman, 3-star fullback. Yeah, every fullback I go for seems to get offered, so we're just going to move on with that. But yeah, we have a handful of spots to fill, 17 if my math is correct. So we're going to get to work in this transfer portal. So I'm sure with 5 stars, there's not going to be a single, yeah, we can't even afford one if we were to go after one. But let's see, is there anyone? Bryce Underwood. He's in here. Okay, yeah, he usually does transfer. So yeah, he's in here. We're not going to be able to afford him or anything like that, but there's actually some 5 stars we could go after, but like obviously we don't have the NIL to do so. But let's see, do any 4 stars have interest? I can't imagine. Yeah, what about pipelines though? Do any? We don't even have a gold pipeline on any. But yeah, 3 stars. We actually do have one with 10th interest, but 40 NIL to bring in one guy when we have to spend all 250 and bring in 35 guys. That's going to be tough to do. So yeah, we're gonna have to work a lot of these 2 stars, and I think I'll just get the recruiting board set up and everything like that, and then I'll go through it. Also, something I noticed here, so I'm looking at 3-star prospects, and Mr. Noah here, I'm not gonna say his last name, he is ranked as a 3-star, which I'm pretty sure he was a 63 overall. And he wants 25 NIL, which I'm pretty sure he wanted 0, by the way, when I was going through the next season NIL. I could be wrong about that. Maybe he did want that. But the thing is, though, he's a 3-star despite being a 63 overall. So as I'm going through this, I'm kind of concerned that, like, if I'm recruiting someone who might be ranked, like, I don't know, 1,000, like 100, for example, might be below a 63 overall, which is kind of concerning. Okay, so I got the recruiting board all set up. I will say, for starters, I did take that 2-star quarterback off of my board. I just had to. If I wanted to go for a transfer quarterback, which I plan on doing, I had to do it. So Nathan Bernard, 3-star transfer quarterback, is a freshman. If we could get him, that would be huge. But yeah, mostly this board is comprised of 3 stars. I was able to find a lot of 3 stars that just didn't want much NIL. So we have a handful of guys just getting like 15, 20, 25. You know, of course the quarterback is getting 55, but you know, he's a quarterback. You know, he's allowed to ask for that much NIL. But yeah, a handful of these guys just wanted like under 20. Some of them I just had to offer up 32, just is what it is. But yeah, a handful of these guys don't want that much NIL, which is really good. But I also do have 2 transfer 2-stars on here, Keyshawn June, left tackle, and Clayton Sexton, right edge rusher. But yeah, I did save 5 dynasty points just in case I need to like bump up any of these offers, which granted, I know I'm not going to get all of these guys. I know I'm going to have to filter some out, and that just is what it is. But yeah, as of right now, this is what the recruiting board has looked like. I think we might get Ailman on a commit pretty soon, but one we should get for sure is Robert Carmichael. If we don't get him, I would be very surprised. But with that being said though, we will just advance on to the next week, and we'll see how this recruiting goes in the next week. And hopefully no big schools want to go after a lot of the guys that I'm going after, because like recruiting battles is just impossible with the resources we have. Patrick Williams is getting offered though. That's unfortunate. So yeah, what I'm just gonna have to do is go through, and anyone that's getting an offer, dude, of course Duke is trying to pull away here. Robert, come on, just lock in with us, man. But yeah, we're just gonna have to go through, and anyone that's getting an offer, just take them off the board, because I cannot afford to get into any recruiting battles. Like for a 2-star running back, I'm just really not gonna get into a battle there. I'll just look elsewhere. But of course, Syracuse, who took one of our guys earlier in the season, is going after another one of our guys. But it looks like here, I mean, yeah, a handful of these guys are getting offers, which is super unfortunate, but you know, we'll just adjust. Did lock us out there. But yeah, a lot of these guys don't have offers, which is good, but some of these guys will have to look elsewhere on. So I'm looking at this now. We have 37 guys on our roster right now. So even a class of 35 doesn't do it for us. Goodness gracious. Yeah, we really need to get to work here. All right, so I made some adjustments here. The most important one, I would say, is Nathan Bernard is up to 65 expected NIL. So hopefully that gives us the edge over Western Michigan there, which if we were to lose the one quarterback transfer I'm going after to our rival, that would suck. But some other adjustments, I'm going a little more heavy on the offensive line. We're trying to bring in 3 offensive line transfers. Actually, no, it's 4, not 3. But yeah, we're trying to bring in 4 offensive line transfers because we really need it. The offensive line projects to be not that great next season. Also, we're going after one more corner because currently we only have 3 on the roster. And I do have to pay him 10 NIL as a 2-star, which is really not that ideal, but it's what I have to do, so we're willing to do it. But yeah, I am leaving myself 15 NIL as extra just in case I need to improve any of these offers, so I will do that if I see fit. But yeah, this is what we got going on. We are going into some battles here, like for Solomon. I would like to bring him in. There might be a little bit of a battle there, which actually we do have the extra NIL, so I might as well use some of that and improve the offer a little bit. But yeah, for the most part, this is what we got going on. Really nothing else new. Well, also Dalen Green, might end up losing him, which actually, you know, might as well just improve the offer since we can. But yeah, otherwise, we're just gonna go on to next week and we'll see. Hopefully we win those battles, and we'll see what week 3 of the offseason has going on for us here in the transfer portal. So of course, no commits quite yet, but we are in first place. Actually, Nathan Bernard, I saw we were in first place there. So actually, did Western Michigan pull out? If they did, that would be huge for us. And no, their offer is still there, but however, we are pulling away, which is good. And I think it's probably time we start getting guys on visits. So Nathan Bernard, oh, we only have 50. That's gonna suck. Well, I mean, it only takes 10, so it's fine, but playing time, yeah, absolutely. He's going to be our best quarterback by far. We only have 2 on the roster currently, and goodness gracious, man. He better commit to us. If we don't get him, that would suck so much. And of course, we have another school going after a guy I want. But it looks like that was the only guy where that's going to be the issue, thankfully. Dude, Duke, you guys were not serious about this guy. Thankfully, we have him on a visit this week, so he should hopefully commit to us, but I really cannot give him more hours, which is unfortunate because I would like to. Actually, we might be losing Clayton Sexton. Yeah, I'm not going to get into a battle over a 2-star edge rusher. I'm just not going to do that. Kind of a voice crack there, but we'll ignore that. And of course, you know what? Screw it. We're just going to improve our offer a little bit, see if NDSU will go to battle with us there. But Dalen Green, you know, I improved the offer, but we might just not get him. But we are pulling away with J. Lewis Solomon though, which that would be ideal if we could get him. And we're going after a new running back. Third one's a charm. Barry Brown, I'm not even sure where he's from, honestly, but he's got the plain style deal breaker, which we only need a D+ for, which seems interesting. How would that be a deal breaker if you only have D+? Okay, you know, I won't even question it. But yeah, Nathan Bernard, hopefully he kicks Western Michigan off of there, but we'll see. We'll have to see about that. And yeah, this week we do have 2 visits. Who did I schedule on the other visit, actually? Let me see. So this week we got Robert Carmichael, Nathan Bernard, hopefully on the visit. That will be enough for him, and also Dalen Green, which I did improve his NIL up to 15. You know, if we're still getting beat out next week, I'm just going to have to remove him and go for someone else last minute. But here we go into the final week of off-season recruiting here in our first transfer portal. And Dalen Green, we're just not going to get him. Is what it is. We'll just move on. Bryce Underwood to Tennessee, though. That one's interesting. But let's see. Nathan Bernard. Okay, yeah, we're going to get him 100%. Western Michigan, you're not getting our guy. But yeah, what about Barry Brown? Okay, thankfully, we might get a running back. Is there anyone else? I mean, Hugh Banks, we should get him. We have the pipeline advantage, so we should be good in regards to that. But I don't think there's anyone else that's... And Robert Carmichael, this is so irritating. Like, Duke came out of nowhere. They are not as serious about him as we are, I can promise you that. But yeah, I don't think anyone else is really battled for, which Dixon... If I have to spend my last 5 NIL on him, I'll do that. Which actually, Dalen Green, I'll probably just remove him because, I mean, I could give him more hours, which probably would do enough for him. So I might do that actually. And yeah, Western Michigan's going after another one of our guys. I promise you that one's not going to happen. But yeah, I don't think anyone else we really need to be concerned about. LeVar Johnson, we should get him. We don't have the pipeline, which is concerning, but I think we should be good. Really, I think the only thing for this last week is I just allocate my hours a little bit and then we should be good. Alright, so after a lot of calculations and all that stuff, I do have my final recruiting board set up. I think we should get all 35 of these guys. If not, I'm gonna be pretty annoyed. So I think here with this last week, the guys that are in their top 5, we should just automatically get. Just the ones that I'm concerned about is the ones that say open, who are yet to be in their top 5. So like George President, Tim Chubb, the Chubbster, I don't know if we get them because even though we are the only scholarship school and we are in first place, well actually no, Chubb is in his top 5, I didn't see that, but as for George President, we're the only school giving him a scholarship. In theory, we should just automatically get him, but I have seen in this game where that just does not happen and I really can't give him more hours, we just really cannot afford to do that. So I am a little bit concerned on these guys who are still on the open phase, so it's possible we don't get those guys, but as for everybody else, I think we should be good. I did increase the NIL offers a little bit on some of these guys who we have battles on. I don't think Solomon was one of them, but I think we should get him regardless, so I think we're fine in regards to that. But yeah, as for everybody else, I think we should be good. So I hope to see a full class of 35 on this Eastern Michigan campus this year. So yeah, this is what the recruiting board is looking like. I guess there's only one way to find out if we get all of these guys, and we will go on to the next week. I'm really hoping, like, Nathan Bernard is the one guy, if we get him, that completely shifts how next season will go. And we get our first 3-star, Tayshawn Gelsey. I think that's how you say it. 3-star transfer, has hard committed. Nathan Bernard, we got our guy from Ohio. I don't even remember what school he went to, but we got him. He's a 3-star. That's all that matters. I can't wait to see what his overall is. And we get Hugh Banks, the speedster, also from Ohio. And we bring in a 3-star tight end. That's huge for us. And we get LeVar Johnson. Okay, we were kind of in a battle for him. It's good that we got him. And then who's next? Kayshawn June. That's huge. We needed the transfers on the offensive line. I was looking for 4, and we get Jebu Ailman. He wasn't a transfer or anything like that, but that's huge. We bring in a 3-star, and we bring in another Robert Carmichael. He was another guy we were in a battle for, but thankfully we bring him in. Dwayne Briggs, got him. So a lot of 3-stars. We bring in a 2-star here, Darren Worley. Very important though, we got to fill out the roster. We bring in another transfer offensive lineman. TJ Eagles has committed. I thought we already had him. I'm pretty sure we already did. Maybe he was just on a verbal, but I'm pretty sure we already had him, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know, maybe I might be mistaken, but Ben Garvin has committed. George President has arrived in Eastern Michigan. What about the Chubbster? The Chubbster has committed to the team, and we also bring in some tight ends. Yeah, we really needed tight ends. The tight end room was looking a little scary, but Doug Matlock has committed. Cade Williams as well. Barry Brown, the transfer running back, that is huge for us. We really needed a boost in the running back room, and yeah, we're getting pretty much everyone. Yassine Philique, he should be pretty good. Davion Dixon, I was a little worried about him, but thankfully he has made the right decision and come to us. Doc Abraham, we could also get him. So, alright, we got a full class here. Did we lose anybody? Let's see. It always skips. It's so annoying how it skips. We got some good levels there. 25 coach and XP. But as I said, the goal was to have a top 70 in the nation class, which, you know, season 1 with all those transfers and having not much NIL was kind of difficult to do. But let's see. Did we get everyone? We got everyone. That's huge. Well, actually, Maybe we didn't get everyone because that's only 28. I don't know. We'll see. But it's unfortunate we didn't get to bring in a fullback though. I really wanted a fullback, but let's see. Actually, we do have to go over dev traits. So what about Jimbo Ailman? We've been going after this guy. Oh, of course, it's normal. All right, whatever. But we do get impact dev out of Robert Carmichael. That's very big for us. Most of these, oh, we got star for Dwayne Briggs. That's huge. That is really huge for us. We add to an already beefed up defense a star development linebacker. A lot of these guys are going to have normal, which is what it is. Ben Garvin with impact. All right. What about the president? He has normal. What about the Chubster? Okay, he also has normal. But yeah, most of these guys, like I said, will have normal. Impact for Deshaun Gelsey. We lost Solomon. I thought it said we got him. Did it not? I'm pretty sure it said we got Solomon. Okay, whatever. He has impact dev. What about Nathan Bernard though? He has normal. All right, that's what it is. Hugh Banks with normal. Impact for Gavin Drunen. I think that's how you say it, the tight end. We really needed some tight end depth, so it's huge that we got him. Ramondo Johnson, impact dev. Impact for Dixon. Impact for LeVar. Normal for June. Carson Wise, impact, of course, when elsewhere, and same with Glenn, also impact. But yeah, we did bring in a class of 30 guys. That's huge for a team that really needed a boost. Would have liked to bring in a full 35, but you know, 30, we'll take it. Hard to complain about that. But now let's see, where did we rank in terms of everyone? So we weren't first, unfortunately. Top 70 was the goal, which with how these guys are spending in the top 50, we probably didn't get top 70. Oh gosh, yeah, we definitely were not top 70. Where were we? Okay, top 100, we'll take it. Top 82, we'll put it that way. So actually, Purdue spent 1,000 and we had a better class than them. That's embarrassing for Purdue. Unfortunately, our rival did do a little bit better than us, which, how in the world did they do better? We brought in the same amount of guys. We brought in 2 more 3-stars than them. I guess they just had higher rated 3-stars. I guess that makes sense. But yeah, for 82nd, that would be like the best recruiting class this school has had in quite some time. I think their best recruiting class was like 89th when I was checking. I think it was 24/7 Sports I was checking on. But yeah, so 82nd. So that's really good for this school. We were top 3 in terms of the MAC, and also in spending, we were, I guess we spent the second highest, but I mean still, 422 for this good of a class, we'll take it. But for transfers, we were 16th in the nation. So that's actually really good. We beat out Michigan, our in-state rival, which, not really a rival, but in terms of high school though, I'm sure we sucked in regards to that. Actually, no, we were best in the MAC. We were 75th with high school, which we brought in 15 high school guys. I did not even realize that. Overall though, this was a really good recruiting class. I'm really happy with it. And I can't wait to see the overalls of these guys. So position changes, we'll see. What was our quarterbacks, our new quarterbacks, I should say, overall? He's a 69 overall. Okay, that's unfortunate. I was expecting a little bit better, but you know, he can develop with his normal development. Oh goodness, all right. Well, our kicker is still our highest rated player. Oh man, well, Barry Brown, he's a 76. So as a 2-star, Barry Brown, 76 overall. 3-star, Nathan Bernard, 69 overall. Okay, they're also another, so the 2-stars were really dominating in terms of overall. Landon here, 75 overall. So maybe I should have gone after more 2-stars. But Yassine Falke though, 75 overall. So really the 2-stars were dominating, because I'm pretty sure LeVar Johnson was a 3-star. So I guess we really need to look into that next. Oh gosh, our safety room is cooked. Goodness gracious, wow. Oh my goodness. What about Quinn Brown? Can he play like any other position? Because otherwise he's just transferring. I mean, like, could we throw him at running back? I mean, he would probably suck. I mean, he definitely would suck. He's 69 speed. Goodness. What about our starting kicker? Could he play any other position? Oh, goodness. But yeah, overall, I mean, we'll see next week with training in regards to that. But currently, the team is a 67 overall. But also, just out of curiosity, this isn't something I looked at before the season or like at all. But where did the top recruits in Michigan go to? So of course, one went to Michigan. Did we actually get any? I wasn't really paying attention to this, but did we get any recruits? Well, so this 4-star, did he go unsigned? How in the world did that happen? Okay. We actually did bring in a 2-star from Michigan. Frederick Gentry stays in state for us. And I think he was actually the only one. So I didn't really do much in-state recruiting, which I should be doing because that helps with the pipeline and stuff. But yeah, he was the only one. But yeah, we will go on to next week. We'll see how this training and everything works out. We'll see if we get any dev trait upgrades. I'm not sure who would get one. because most of our guys were seniors, so they all left. But I don't know, I guess one can hope. Maybe one of the transfers? No, not a single one. All right, well, let's see. What is Nathan Bernard up to? Oh gosh, our kicker's still our best player. Okay, well, Nathan Bernard's up to a 72. Noah Kim was like a 76, if I'm not mistaken. So the quarterback room has a little bit of a drop off, and Barry Brown already wants to transfer playing style. I mean, we're gonna hand the ball off to him like 1,000 times this season, so that should go up. Nate Lyman up 8 overall. I think that's the highest I've seen so far. So we'll see. We got another one up 8 overall. Is there any that's going to beat that out? I don't think so. But actually, Rodney Pedden as a normal dev up 10 overall. So I guess dev trait really doesn't matter all that much. I mean, that's not true. It definitely does matter. Kicker, at least we got a 81 overall kicker. That's good. Actually, his overall goes up, but not a single kicking stat goes up. But yeah, it says we're still at a 67 overall. So I'm sure it'll update next week. But if we're being real, I think if anything, it's probably going to go down. Encourage transfers. Well, it's kind of hard to when we don't even have a full team. Yeah, we only have 67 guys. But yeah, for the off season, that will. But actually, before I close out this video, I want to check out the schedule for next season. Oh yeah, new goals. Okay, sign 1 3-star or better during the season. We can do that. We sign multiple. Score at least 20 points in any game. Dude, they are really doubting me. Oh my goodness. Make a bowl game in the next 2 seasons. We should get that this season. Absolutely. But yeah, let's see, did the team overall change at all? No, it's still the same. Okay, I guess the team overall just hasn't changed at all, but it should have. I don't know why it didn't. But hire staff, manage blueprint. We really don't have the funds to be able to hire any staff. We really cannot do, yeah, we can't even afford a single one. Oh my goodness, yeah, we just have no chance at hiring any. But yeah, we will take a quick look at this Georgia and Michigan. Oh my gosh, dude, we're going to have an entire injured team going into conference play. Oh my goodness. So we go San Diego State, Georgia, Michigan. Oh my goodness. This is going to be a brutal schedule. All right. Well, at least we play Kent State, our OC that went over there to be the head coach. Do we not play Western Michigan? Wow, that's surprising. The thing is, though, I actually was thinking about giving us a Michigan game. I wasn't expecting it to just happen. Oh my gosh, this is going to be a tough schedule. But I mean, that's something to worry about next video. Next video, I'll be playing weeks 1 through 4. This will be tough. But yeah, with that being said, that is going to be the end of the off-season episode in Eastern Michigan Dynasty episode. What is this? Episode 6, I think. And so with this video coming out, Madden 27 will be coming out as well. So I'm going to be doing a lot of content on that. Madden is what I primarily play, so make sure to stay tuned for that. I also got some 2K stuff coming out as well. So yeah, with that being said, if you made it all the way to the end of the video, thank you so much for watching the video all the way through. I really appreciate that. If you enjoyed this one, I do have plenty of content up on my channel, so feel free to check that out. But yeah, that's all I got for you all today. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all next time.